January may be ending, but we have so much more to look forward to. The entire year awaits. Unfortunately, so does this coronavirus pandemic. I cannot stress it enough how you need to follow the protocols, protect yourself, and protect others. It is important. We need to get back to some form of normalcy, but the government alone cannot do it. We need your help. Do the right thing. Wear your mask, sanitize, practice social distancing, and isolate yourselves if you have any flu-like symptoms. Call your doctor, get tested, and stay in the know. Welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry.
Each time you're not paying full attention to the road environment, the greater your chances of getting in a crash like that. Plan routes to avoid focusing on GPS systems, prevent children from roaming in motor vehicles, turn down the volume of car stereo systems, pull off the roadway if you have to use mobile devices, do not read, watch television or eat while driving, avoid multitasking, and keep conversations with other passengers to a minimum. Whether you walk, ride, or drive, avoid potentially fatal distractions.
Testing for COVID-19 is very important, but you need to be sure that where you are going to get the test done is accredited to do so. This is the only way to ensure the safety and integrity of the test. Today on Get the Facts, we'll find out more on how entities can become accredited to conduct COVID-19 testing. Watch this.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Enthros Campbell. The Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, JANAC, is inviting entities and individuals wishing to provide COVID-19 testing services to apply for the JANAC Pre-Accreditation Approval Program, PAP. Now, here to provide us with all the information is Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Sharon May Shirley. Ms. Shirley, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Enthros. It's my pleasure to be here sharing with you on this very, very important topic,
And we're so
accreditation
yes.
and JANAC.
Right. Let us start with JANAC. What is JANAC's function, role?
Yes, thank you for asking that question because so many persons are unfamiliar with the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, JANAC. We're an agency of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, MEIC, and we are proud to have a mandate to assist Jamaicans to embrace quality services. We underscore quality in Jamaica and the region. The Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, we provide accreditation to conformity assessment bodies. And examples of conformity assessment bodies are our laboratories, our inspection bodies, and our certification bodies. And perhaps I can give you an example of, for example, one of our labs. Say we accredit the Bureau of Standards labs, the SRC's labs, and we accredit several medical labs in Jamaica, as you may be aware. But we also accredit inspection bodies. So when we're talking about inspection bodies, we're talking about bodies, for example, like the Motor Vehicle Inspectorate, we can accredit those entities, and certification bodies. So JANAC facilitates trade of Jamaican goods internationally by ensuring that the results generated from these conformity assessment bodies meet international requirements or specifications that are made by the market that they are trying to enter. And we also, importantly, provide accreditation for the man in the street. Why do I say that? Accreditation underscores the quality of the service that we receive. For example, if we go to a medical laboratory, we want to ensure that the results that we receive are sufficient to allow our medical providers to diagnose our medical condition. Yes. And if we get a wrong result, then of course, the wrong diagnosis will be made. Yes. And we are now focusing so much on COVID-19. Right. So JANAC's accreditation services are very important to undergird the quality assurance programs in these entities that are provided COVID-19 testing.
All right. As we move into the COVID matter, there are a lot more demands now and for COVID testing.
Yes.
And we've heard about entities that have come up that have been offering these services. And we'd like to know, what is your role in ensuring that these persons offering services are indeed trustworthy?
So accreditation provides trust. It provides confidence in the services, and perhaps if it's a good that is manufactured, it underscores confidence in these entities. But importantly, accreditation safeguards health and well-being. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to ensure that the results coming out of these facilities that are providing COVID-19 tests, the results can be used for the purpose that they're intended. For example, if it is that an individual wants a COVID-19 test result for travel, we want to ensure that the result that they have obtained from this service provider is accurate, so that they can safeguard their families when they return home. They can safeguard their country of origin when they return home. Right. So it is important for us to ensure that the results are actually accurate.
Yes, and you now are inviting entities and persons to come along and be accredited. Tell us about that process.
So we are inviting them to be a part. JANAC has a full accreditation program, and as I mentioned, we have a number of entities, medical laboratories that are already accredited. What we are introducing is what we describe as the JANAC Pre-Accreditation Approval Program. This Pre-Accreditation Approval Program is a fast-track program to assist entities that cannot currently meet all the requirements of the international standards that govern the accreditation process. So for example, for medical labs, we would require them, if they are accredited, to conform with the requirements of the ISO 15189 standard. Now, there are many entities that would not have the quality management systems in place so that they can meet all the requirements of this standard. What we have introduced is a program that ensures that the technical competencies of the service providers, that they meet the minimum requirements, so that whereas they may not have all of the management requirements that would be required if they were fully accredited, this pre-accreditation approval program allows them to meet the technical requirements, and that would satisfy us because we would say, okay, they are competent to provide the service. We would be assured that there are also some minimum requirements in the management system that they can meet that would safeguard the results that are coming out of those institutions, whether they are medical labs or their point-of-care testing facilities.
So after the pre-approval, then what?
So after the pre-approval, what we encourage these facilities to do is to become a part of the JANAC accreditation family. So we encourage them to participate and upgrade their services. So within another year or two, they would fully matriculate into the full accreditation program. But right now, this pre-accreditation or PAP program will allow them to operate at a certain standard that guarantees that the results coming out of the entities are acceptable.
Let's take a quick break now and pick up with some useful information about the Jamaica National Accreditation JANAC program to get entities and persons wishing to offer COVID-19 tests accredited. Stay with us.
What is the National Identification System? The new National ID will for the first time give Jamaicans one ID that is trusted and verifiable. This means easier access to government services like PATH and NIS. It will be easier to do business with the government and the private sector. Eventually, there'll be no need to walk with more than one ID. Support the new National ID. Get the facts at nidsfacts.com or on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at nidsfacts.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We're talking today with Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, JANAC, Ms. Sharon May Shirley, about the accreditation process for providers of COVID-19 tests. Thank you so much for staying with us. Tell us about the process. How long will this process take?
Okay, before I tell you about the process and how long it takes, I want to use this opportunity to really thank the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Investment and Commerce for the leadership that our ministers have provided in this matter, because when our ministers recognized that there was an issue with providing the requisite number or facilitating an increase in the numbers of entities that can provide COVID-19 testing, they stepped up and they said, JANAC, we need to create a program that will help Jamaicans and the private sector to get on board. And so PAP is an initiative coming out of MEEC. It is an joined up government approach where we had discussions with the Ministry of Health and Wellness as well as the Ministry of Tourism. So we're very pleased that this product is here to help Jamaicans, and not just Jamaicans, but to encourage partnerships in the private sector as well.
Definitely.
But telling you now, you
Yes.
asked a question about how long this program will take, the pre-accreditation process. So typically what we are guaranteeing is that if an entity applies and their system meets the requirements, the 12 minimum requirements that have been established, that they are able to get this pre-accreditation certificate within 7 days.
Right. How will they find out about these 12 minimum areas that they need to satisfy?
Good question. So on our website, or those persons who are listening or viewing right now, they can visit the JANAC website, www.janaac.gov.jm. So they can visit our website, and we have a package, and this package includes an application form. It includes the minimum requirements. It includes, the assistance that is available to these entities, because of course we know that many of them have never participated in whether it's a pre-accreditation or accreditation type process. So we have the mechanisms in place to help them to meet these requirements as well. And so we have the National Accreditation Focal Point, which is a consultative arm of the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. And the National Accreditation Focal Point representatives are there standing by to assist any entity that is interested in participating in this program, walking them through the application, as well as assisting them with necessary templates that they may need to put in some of the standard operating procedures that they are required to have. Because there are some minimum operating procedures that we require them to have, such as, they must be able to manage reporting process. How do you generate the report? How do you safeguard confidentiality? How do you ensure that you are generating the right result for the right individual who was tested or sampled?
Yes. So you go to the website and you download all the documents, and then once you've downloaded the application form and completed it, then you email that into JANAC, and we will respond to you within a day. We have had about 6 applicants to date from Friday. The program was launched on the 21st, and we had maybe 2 or 3 on the 22nd, and we had a couple applicants on Monday. And we are expecting that many more entities will apply. And we have been able to respond to them, and as a matter of fact, we have set up some assessments for some of them already. Yes. So tell us about, do you provide training? So you get a pre-approval and you want to really move up to the accreditation.
Yes.
So there would be need for some training.
A part of our mandate is that JANAC provides technical training to the public, those persons who are interested, and of course to what we describe the quality infrastructure community. These are persons who are practitioners who are interested in becoming a part of the accreditation process. Whether they are applicants or whether they are interested in becoming assessors themselves. But In particular for the COVID-19 program, JANAC will provide sensitization program, and this will be announced pretty soon, sensitization program, training program for those entities that have applied, and we will walk them through the process. Those individuals or entities that have already applied, they recognize that the form is pretty simple to fill out and they have completed the form and submitted it. But if they want additional information as to the respective steps, we have a process flow, so we'll guide them through that, as well as provide them with more detailed information in partnership with the National Accreditation Focal Point out of the Bureau Standards to show them in detail the requirements that they would have to meet. And some of these requirements are some of the technical requirements that are espoused in the respective international standards.
What should we look out for? Some of us will be probably going to get tested at these labs or these entities. What should we look for what will tell us that this is an entity that has been pre-approved?
Pre-accredited,
yes,
right.
Yes.
Because we don't want them to mix this up with the accreditation program, because JANAC is an internationally recognized accreditation body. I would add that we are the only internationally recognized accreditation body in the English-speaking Caribbean. So we are very proud of this, and as a result of this, we have a certain standard that we must maintain. So our accredited labs have the JANAC accreditation mark. So we have accredited testing labs, and there is the mark that indicates that they are accredited to the ISO IEC 17025 standard, and for medical testing labs for the ISO 15189 standard. Now, those accredited labs that are performing COVID-19 testing, you will see their accreditation mark. And all of our accredited entities have a certificate, framed certificate, and usually it is in their facilities that shows that they are accredited. For our new customers for the pre-accreditation approval program, they will also have a certificate that says that they have been assessed to the requirements of this program and that they have satisfactorily met these requirements, and they will have a certificate that they can also display in their entities.
Right. As we wrap, tell us, what value is it to the providers themselves and to patients, clients?
Yes. So the benefits of accreditation are huge, and it could take me a day to go through them, but I will summarize. For those entities, medical entities, whether it is a laboratory or it's a point of care testing facility, it's a doctor's office, it could be a pharmacy, those entities will benefit. They will have the market advantage. Now, Jamaica will recognize that they are producing quality results that are fit for purpose, and that is what we want. We want to ensure that when our visitors come to Jamaica, they are satisfied, they are assured that the results coming out of these entities can be trusted. And that is one of the primary benefits of accreditation. But the providers also have the edge, where now, because they are deemed competent, they will have a greater throughput of clients. And we have found that for all of our accredited entities, once they have achieved accreditation, their client base increases significantly, because we want to know that we're spending our money with someone who can give us the result that we can trust. And of course, for you and I, because we all have to participate and in medical examinations at some point or other, whether it is routine or whether it is emergency. For emergency care, we want to know that the result coming out of these institutions can be trusted.
This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was CEO of the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, JANAC, Ms. Sharon May Shirley. For more information on the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, JANAC, contact them at 876-968-7790 or visit their website at www.janac.gov.jm. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you more useful information, I'm Rose Campbell. Thanks for watching and have a great week.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, with kind support of NIA and USAID.
lock them up. Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come here. Take time running. Are we ready for the ops? Drive up on your block. Step out now me black. Cyber take away your laptop. Pull up every lock. No evidence to drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have you under lock. Sin you say scam, you better look out fit. When you move corrupt, better look out fit. Feel say you get wet, look out fit. Look out fit. Look out fit. From you say scam, you better look out fit. When you move corrupt, better look out fit. Feel say you get wet, look out fit. Look out fit. Look out fit.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
Tomorrow is the start of a new month and the resumption of jury duties. If you were summoned and affected by the suspension, which took effect last March, watch this next feature to find out if and when you need to show up for duty.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, jury trials were suspended in March 2020 when Jamaica recorded its first case. But that is set to change starting February 2021. Jury trials are to resume on a phased basis for the Home Circuit Court and some rural circuit courts of the Hillary term. Jurors can be assured that all COVID-19 guidelines outlined by the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be followed while they are in the precincts of the courts. With the exception of death penalty cases, jury trials will proceed at courts that can accommodate jurors with adequate space for physical distancing to prevent the spread of COVID-19. In the Kingston Home Circuit Court, jurors are not required to attend until February 12, 2021. In St. Catherine, if you were summoned for jury duty for the period January 7 to 22 or January 25 to February 12, you are not to attend until February 15, 2021, when jury trials are to resume. Jurors in Westmoreland, Portland, and Trelawney, who were summoned for the period February 8 to March 5, are to attend for duties as scheduled. If you are from the parish of St. James and you are summoned for the period January 7 to February 5, you are not required to attend until March 8, 2021. Jurors in the parishes of Hanover, St. Elizabeth, and St. Mary, who were summoned for the period March 8 to 26, are to attend for duties. In parishes where no jury trials will occur for the periods I just indicated, those cases that can proceed without a jury are going to proceed. Jurors summoned for court in parishes where there are no jury trials are not required to attend and are excused without any risks of penalties. There are also several other conditions you need to be mindful of where jury trials are concerned. No cases with more than 2 defendants jointly indicted for the offense will be heard. Trials with 3 or more defendants are to take place only if the judge is satisfied that trial can proceed without violating the health guidelines governing access to all courts of Jamaica. These guidelines cover factors such as the number of attorneys representing the Crown and defense, the number of witnesses, whether the defendants can be accommodated in the courtroom, whether the evidence is to be given orally, remotely, and/or by agreed statements of agreed facts, and any other factor which appears to the judge to be relevant. In order to accommodate jury trials, the judiciary will be using 2 courtrooms to hear a single matter. They will also be transferring matters that would usually be dealt with at the parish courts to outstations to facilitate physical distancing. If you want to know more, contact the Court Administration Division at 876-613-8800 or visit their website at www.cad.gov.jm.
An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. What to do if you think you have been exposed or are experiencing signs and symptoms of COVID-19. Immediately call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. In addition, you should stay at home. Don't go to work, school, or any public place. Do not use public transport and avoid visitors to your home. You may need to do this for up to 14 days to reduce the spread of the infection. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The first month of 2021 may be ending, but that just means another. And a new day is on the horizon. If you haven't started any of the goals or the plans that you had set for the new year, it's not too late to get going. Remember, you are running your own race on your own time, and your biggest competitor is yourself. Don't allow your doubts to cloud your judgment and cause you to be thrown off track. You are fearless, you are strong, and you are brave. You can achieve anything you set your mind to. Now, I say this as a mere reminder because you are our future. You are the ones who are and will continue to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Are you aware of how Jamaican adolescents use social media? What do they do online? What do they post? Do you know if they are being harassed? These are questions you should be asking yourself because it is your duty to keep your children safe online. Parents, here's what you need to do. Be active online and offline. Help your child to set up his or her online profile. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the different social media applications that they use and set some rules. Protect our nation's children and save them from cybercriminal attacks.
This is where the magazine ends for today, but if you would like to see more content like this, then visit our YouTube page. We also have all the latest news and updates on our social media pages and our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.